Struggling to make your money last through the month? Let's change that with a budget that actually works. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into Budgeting 101, a complete beginner-friendly guide to setting up a budget that you can stick to. We're going to break down every step, from tracking your income to finding hidden expenses and setting financial goals. By the end, you'll have a solid plan for your money. Ready? Let's jump right in. Step 1 in our budgeting journey is understanding your monthly income. This goes beyond just your paycheck. Do you have side hustles? Maybe you're selling crafts online, driving for a rideshare, or picking up freelance gigs. What about passive income sources like rental properties or dividends from investments? List them all. Here's why. If you don't know what's coming in, it's impossible to know what's going out. Include all forms of income, but make sure to use your net income, the money that hits your bank account after taxes. If your income fluctuates, like if you're self-employed or a freelancer, use the average of the last 6 months. For example, let's say your monthly take-home pay is $3,500 from your full-time job. You also make about $500 monthly from your freelance graphic design work and an additional $200 in investment dividends. That brings your total monthly income to $4,200. This number is the foundation of your budget. Now that you know how much you have to work with, you can start planning how to use it effectively. Now, let's talk about the flip side, expenses. The secret to successful budgeting is knowing exactly where your money goes. This is the part where most people get a wake-up call. I want you to track your expenses for at least 1 month, and I mean every single dollar. Grab your bank statements, credit card statements, and receipts, and start logging them. Let's break this down into categories. First, we have fixed expenses. These are your non-negotiables. Think of your rent or mortgage, utilities, car payments, and insurance premiums. They generally stay the same each month, which makes them easy to plan for. Next, we have variable expenses. Things like groceries, gas, and dining out. These can fluctuate from month to month, so it's crucial to get an average. Then there are occasional expenses. These are the ones that can sneak up on you. Annual subscriptions, holiday shopping, car repairs, birthday gifts. It's easy to forget about these, but they're a part of your financial life. One trick is to break down these occasional expenses into monthly contributions. For example, if you spend $600 on holiday gifts every December, start saving $50 a month to cover that cost when it rolls around. By tracking your expenses, you'll start to see patterns. Maybe it's those daily coffee runs or the spontaneous online shopping. The idea isn't to judge, but to understand where your money is going. That way, you can make more informed decisions moving forward. Now that you have your expenses laid out, it's time to categorize them. Why? Because categorizing gives you a clear view of where your money is actually going. Here's a simple breakdown: housing. This is often your largest expense, covering rent or mortgage payments, utilities, and property taxes. The general rule of thumb is to keep housing costs at or below 30% of your income. Transportation. This includes gas, car payments, public transit, and car maintenance. Try to keep this category within 10 to 15% of your income. Food, groceries, dining out, snacks. Put it all in this category. Ideally, food expenses should be around 10 to 15% of your income. Entertainment. This category is where most people go overboard. Streaming services, movie nights, hobbies. Aim to limit this to about 5 to 10% of your income. Savings. One of the most important categories. You should aim to save at least 20% of your income if possible, split between building an emergency fund, contributing to retirement, and other savings goals. Debt repayment. If you're paying off high-interest debt, you'll want to allocate as much as possible here, around 15 to 20% of your income. Remember, these are just guidelines. The beauty of budgeting is that it's flexible. You can adjust these percentages based on your situation. For example, if you're aggressively paying off debt, you might allocate 25% of your income to that category and cut back on wants like entertainment. Alright, now that we have our income and expenses sorted, it's time to set some goals. This is where budgeting gets fun, because it's not just about cutting back, it's about working towards something exciting. First, think about your short-term goals, things you want to achieve in the next 1 to 2 years. Maybe it's building an emergency fund, paying off a specific debt, or saving for a vacation. Then, there are long-term goals, buying a home, saving for your child's education, or building a retirement nest egg. When setting goals, use the SMART framework. Make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of saying, "I want to save more," a smart goal would be, "I will save $5,000 for my emergency fund by the end of the year by setting aside $420 each month." This clarity gives you a clear target to aim for and helps you stay motivated. Having goals in place also makes it easier to decide where to allocate extra money. For example, if you receive a bonus or a tax refund, you can use it to accelerate your progress toward these financial milestones. Now that you have all the pieces, it's time to create your budget. One of the most effective and easy to follow methods is the 50-30-20 rule. Here's how it works. 50% for needs. This covers essentials like rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, and minimum debt payments. 30% for wants. Dining out, entertainment, hobbies, and non-essential shopping fall under this category. 20% for savings and debt repayment. This includes building an emergency fund, investing, and paying down debt. This method is a great starting point, but it's not set in stone. You can customize these percentages based on your situation. If you have a lot of high-interest debt, you might want to allocate 25 to 30% of your income to debt repayment and reduce spending in other areas. Another option is the zero-based budgeting method, where you assign every dollar a job. If your income is $4,200 a month, you allocate every dollar to different categories until you reach zero. This approach gives you full control and visibility over where each dollar goes. Your budget is not a set-it-and-forget-it plan. It's a living document that needs regular review. At the end of each month, compare your actual expenses to what you had planned. Did you overspend in some categories? Were there any unexpected expenses? Adjust your budget to reflect changes in your life. Maybe you got a raise or your rent went up. It's okay to shift funds between categories as long as you're staying on track with your overall financial goals. And remember, this is not about perfection, it's about progress. The more you review and adjust your budget, the better you'll get at managing your money. Here's a bonus tip to take your budgeting game to the next level. Automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment accounts. By automating this process, you're paying yourself first and ensuring that saving becomes a habit, not an afterthought. But that's not all. Use cashback apps and loyalty programs to save on everyday purchases. There are tons of apps out there that give you cash back for grocery shopping, dining out, and even buying gas. It might seem like small change at first, but those savings add up over time. Lastly, create a shopping list before heading to the store and stick to it. Impulse purchases are one of the biggest budget busters, and a list helps keep you focused on what you really need. Trust me, these small hacks can make a massive difference in how effectively you manage your money. Now, it's your turn. With this complete guide, you're all set to create a budget that works for you. Start by listing your income, tracking your expenses, and setting goals that keep you motivated. Remember, budgeting is not about limiting your freedom. It's about creating more of it. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more tips on financial empowerment. And hey, don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with a friend who might need a little budgeting boost. Together, we can build a community that's financially savvy and ready for anything life throws our way. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.